old gross, all I saw was a big, scary-looking man. In some ways, he's the popular image of the criminal type. Very big, very black, and apparently very angry. He's 6 feet, 200 pounds, 53 years old, and he's been in prison for more than 30 of those years. In fact, he says he's been in and out of institutions until I caught this live bid. He's been labeled as a sociopath by judge and jury, and at first, this was all I saw in him. Later, when I came to know him, I saw how handsome and smart he was, and learned he could be wry, laconic, and very funny. I've rarely ever seen him without his best pal and his partner in crime, Turk, who is as hyped up, as gross, as low-key, and laid-back. The pair of them live in C Block, which they refer to as the gated community. He works very hard. I've never seen him when he's not wearing his jumpsuit from the wood shop, which he manages. He presides over 30 to 40 men. He gets up at 3 in the morning to start working the wood shop. He never misses a single class, even when it means missing overtime pay. He says, he told me, address me as the angry man and describe me as the perfect gentleman.
As you all realize, this is the evening of Caucasian people channeling African American people. I grew up in poverty just by being born black in a white man's world. To ensure my survival, I felt that I had to take the turns in life that I took. In saying that, my life of what is deemed crime by others and acts of survival by me began at a very young age. I went through a lot of juvenile facilities and eventually graduated to adult facilities, such as places where I'm writing these words. A man once asked me what was the difference between prisons and institutions. I was unable at the time to respond with an answer because the officer was rustling him away. But if I were to see that man again, then I would say that in my opinion they are both the same physically, concrete and steel. But it's the mindset of the prisoners that determines and defines whether it is considered a prison or an institution. I'm going through an acculturation period, sort of, because I'm still in the prison mindset, and I'm surrounded by inmates who are in the institutional mindset. Even though I'm not forced into their way of thinking and conducting themselves, their way has become the standard, simply because they are the majority. So my dilemma is, do I live on my knees or die on my feet? When I committed my first act of crime, or survival, I was given the choice to either go to prison or join Uncle Sam's army. That wasn't much of a choice. I chose the army because I figured that it would allow me to have more freedom than the confines of a prison. Man, was I ever wrong. I've always been recalcitrant by nature, which is an inherited character trait from my forefathers. I'm a black man in a white man's world. I really experienced mental changes, having to take orders from and allowing authority to scream in my face. I came home on leave and ended up with life in prison. In 1982, coming to prison for a young guy was hard. You had to be like a young animal born in the wild. As soon as you exit the womb, you have to be ready for life's challenges. No time for games. You had to grow up quick. The prison mentality is swim or drown. Convicts with the prison mindset live by codes and adhere to the three monkeys doctrine. See no evil, hear no evil, and speak no evil. Mind your business. But nowadays anything goes. The script is flipped and the convict mindset has mostly been replaced by the institutional mindset. The majority of inmates have allowed themselves to be assimilated. And they accept a lot of things today that were not allowed back in the day. I walk to the beat of a different drum, so I'm often labeled as the angry man or ostracized because I don't display the herd mentality. I walk alone and don't feel the need to be validated or accepted. To me, the mindset of today's institutional inmates is a regression compared to yesterday's prison convicts' code of conduct, simply because the same things that we already fought to have and got, we've somehow managed to lose. As a majority, we've shown that if we don't stand for something, then we'll fall for anything. That's what made me so angry. The truth is, I am a sick man. I am a spiteful man. And I show nothing but antagonistic behavior to those whom are not a part of my struggle. In my mind, I commit numerous atrocious acts upon certain individuals whose paths I cross on a daily basis. No one knows my thoughts. They only see the angry mask that I wear as a repellent device to keep them away. Who gives a damn what they're thinking? Not I, because I know that a very high percentage of them would not survive a week in my world. My world consists of constant struggle and strife. I'm in a constant battle with the powers that be, simply because of my recalcitrant attitude. I make it very easy for them to hate me because I have no problem playing the villainous role. The hippo Christians are always telling me that I'm going to hell. I respond with, if such places as heaven and hell do exist, then I'm going to heaven because I've done my time in hell. Censure me all you want, but remember this, everybody that's kissing ass to go to heaven ain't going. Yes, I am a sick man. Sick of the hypocritical bullshit that I witness on a daily basis being committed by those who proclaim to be the do-gooders of the world. Who the fuck made you the judge and jury of others' acts? How dare you throw rocks at me while you huddle together, not out of camaraderie, but out of fear of not being accepted? I choose rather to be hated for who I am than loved for who I'm not. I'm the lone wolf that spikes feelings of dread in the hearts of 1,000 sheep.